What is up, Preston Outdoors fans? Once again, it's Vlog Monday. Well, it's not a fishing vlog this week, it's a travel vlog. Left this morning about 4 o'clock. I want to say about 4 o'clock. I think I was up out of bed at about 3:30, somewhere in there. Been on the road ever since. I think I've stopped twice for gas or something. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I wanted to worry about driving this morning, and it was a tough drive this morning. Got going, and when I left where I was staying in Texas, the weather was 36 degrees, and when I got into southeastern Oklahoma, the weather had dropped down all the way to about 31 degrees, and there was a heavy fog. You couldn't see about 20 yards in front of you, and then the fog started freezing to the road and freezing to my windshield, so that was great. And then a lot of people weren't running with their headlights, so that was even better. So I just decided until it was nice and I could see better that I would turn the camera on and start the vlog just for safe and travel reasons. That's why I'm starting this one so late. So kind of a recap for you guys on how Texas was. It was awesome. I learned so much when I was down there for those 4 or 5 weeks. Most of the time I fished Lake Fork, except for 3 days I fished Richland Chambers with a guy I met. We caught about, I don't know, 70, 75 fish there, so that was fun. I also fished Lake Monticello with Cannon Rush. If you guys are up to date on my Instagram and Facebook pages, you both have seen Cannon on there. Nice kid that I met from the Dallas area, and he's kind of wanting to do the same thing that I'm wanting to do. So we hooked up and went out fishing, and I think we went out fishing 3-4 times when I was down there, at least once a week, except for Thanksgiving week. Otherwise, we had a lot of fun fishing there. And then the last day I fished had been last Friday. I went to Lake Fairfield and fished down there, and I did all right. Nothing real big or anything like that, or not a lot of fish, but those last 2 lakes are power plant lakes, and I've never really fished a power plant lake out of a boat before, so it was kind of interesting to go by the discharge, and the water's 80 degrees or something like that. And it was just crazy. At Monticello, it was awesome because the water was rushing out so much, and then the water was rushing at us and the wind was blowing at us, so the boat kind of just stayed in one spot, and we were sitting in like 20 feet of water. So that was really really cool. We didn't catch much by the discharge, except Cannon caught I think it was a 25-pound flathead catfish, and I've never seen a flathead in person before, so I thought that was really, really cool. Well, like I told you in the vlog when I was going down to Texas, and if you hadn't seen that one before, go ahead and check those vlogs out. Like I said, like my Facebook page and my Instagram page at Preston Outdoors. Preston Outdoors 2 on Instagram and Preston Outdoors on Facebook. That'd be awesome. I just got my 400th subscriber on YouTube, and I know that doesn't sound like much compared to a lot of the bigger YouTube channels, but for me that was a really big accomplishment. I started, it'll be a year in January, it'll be 2 years in January, but the first year I had 50 subscribers, and now, like I said, I'm up to 400, so that's just awesome. And I hope you guys continue to watch the videos and like them and tell other people to get the channel growing. And later on, when we get higher up there, we'll do some giveaways and stuff like that, and some more question and answer stuff. There's only 2 people that asked questions on the last vlog for the Q&A session, but that's all right. I'll answer them later on here when I'm not driving, so I can look at my phone and see what they wrote on the video. Like I said, Cannon, the guy that I met, he's trying to do the same thing I am. And if you haven't watched my first vlog, when I was heading down to Texas, my goal is to become a professional fisherman, and extending my open water season by going to Texas and staying with family down there and taking the boat down there was to try and learn one of the toughest lakes. I was told one of the toughest lakes in Texas to learn was Lake Fork, and the first 2 weeks really, really kicked my butt. I was maybe catching 2 fish a day, something like that. And then the last 2 weeks I started putting a pattern together, fishing bridges and stuff with a drop shot and shaky head and a football jig, and I was catching 15 to 20. Now they're smaller fish, good sized tournament fish there, because we You can't keep anything from I think it's 16 to 21 inches or something. Only one over 21. So, you know, a fat 16-inch fish is a really good tournament fish on that lake. And I was catching fish like that. So I was pretty happy, and I wanted to expand and fish those power plant lakes. So that's what we did. But Cannon and I are trying to do the same thing of become professional fishermen. And it takes a lot of time and effort. So going down there, learning a different region, those fish are the same. They're saying they're largemouth bass, but they're in a different region and totally different than catching them up north in North Dakota, Minnesota, kind of thing that I'm used to. So I got to meet a lot of cool people. I actually talked to a professional angler that fishes the FLW. Talked to him a little bit over the phone and answered a bunch of questions. I got to know and talk to some of the guides on Lake Fork. They were able to give me a bunch of questions about guiding and stuff, and just to get to know people and fish while I was down there was awesome. And I plan on going back down in February that's when they really start kicking their tournaments off again. They take January off and start kicking off in February. I think Cannon and I are going to fish at least 3 tournaments for sure down there through February and March. So that'll be pretty fun. So like I said, it was a journey going down there. I left the boat at my great uncle's house, and so I'm making a lot better time coming back home, getting better gas mileage, that's for sure. Instead of stopping every 2.5 hours to fill up the tank, I'm stopping, I think the last time was 4.5 hours, so it helps. But we got the boat all cleaned out, locked up and stuff down there, so hopefully nothing will happen to it. But coming back home, gonna regroup, get to work. I'm not sure if when I get a job, if Vlog Mondays will be up on Mondays, but I will let you know how that goes. I know 100% sure I will be doing a vlog during the week at some point. I'll let you guys know with that. And then the Friday uploads, I don't know, it'll be tough here. I'm gonna try and do some pheasant hunting and possibly some ice fishing and stuff to get some more Friday uploads for you. This Friday I'll have another duck hunting video out of my little brother Elliot and myself. The last duck hunt I did before I left for Texas, and I did a little filming while in Texas. Most of it was the Vlog Monday stuff, but I was more focused on trying to catch the fish and learn from that stuff down there. So I really didn't videotape a whole bunch. I was just trying to stay focused on that. But I might put those, it was last Wednesday, Cannon and I fished it, like I said, Monticello, and then last Friday I fished at Lake Fairfield. I might put I videotaped a little bit, got a few fish. We might put those together. The biggest highlight of that was obviously Cannon catching that big catfish, so I'll probably put that together and put that out next week. But like I said, it'll be touch and go here when I get back, once I get a job and work for the January and stuff, to decide when or if I'll be able to get everything uploaded for you guys. Out with the old, in with the new coffee. Alrighty, got some more gas, got some more coffee. Time for the Q&A session here. I got them loaded on my phone. We're gonna take off and get on the highway here, and I'll answer your questions here. Alright, the first question is from Max Stenner, and Matt wants to know what my favorite brand of reel is. And I don't know, it depends. Like for spinning reels, I tend to stick with the Fluger Presidents. I've always used those. I mean, they're $60 reels, they're cheap, but I've had, you know, some of the I got a couple rods back there or in the boat that are 8 years old, and they're Gander Mountain rods, cheap Gander Mountain rods, $40 rods, and $60 Fluger President reels. I mean, I use my stuff so much, and I've grown up, you know, I didn't have a lot of money for tackle and stuff, so I bought the cheaper stuff, and I've stuck with it. I haven't paid, you know, I haven't paid $100 for a reel ever. I usually get the Revo, or the Abu Garcia Pro Max. I like those. You know, those are $80. I do have a Revo, Abu Garcia Revo SX bait casting. It was the Gen 1 before they went up to, I think it's the new one, or like Gen 2s or whatever. Those are $120, but mine I got for $80 back in the day. So usually if I'm going bait caster right now, reels, I'll go with Abu Garcia. Except on my Skeet Reese rods, I do with the Wright & McGill Skeet Reese reel, just because it matches, and I haven't had a problem with either one of those. They're both $80. But like I said, the spinning reels, I'll go with the Flugers. If you're looking for more expensive stuff, I know guys like Daiwa and stuff like that, but I haven't ever purchased any that expensive or even fished with anyone like those. So you gotta find what you like. You know, I don't know, I can't even, you know, tell you to stick with something or whatever. Those Flugers is what I've used, and you know, until the foreseeable future, those are what I'll stick with. Next question comes from Adam Bass. He says, what exactly do you fish this time of year, referring to late fall or beginning of winter? I'm from central Minnesota, and the surface temperature is about 38 degrees, and the bite seems really slow. Any tips? My tips for you, Adam, would probably, surprisingly enough, fish a crankbait. I'd find the ones I like are the Rapala minnow wraps, something with a really, really tight wobble, to where, because right now they're still, I know in Minnesota a lot of times they're still eating little bitty perch and bluegills and stuff like that. They still want to eat something before the ice comes on. I mean, you're not going to get as many bites, but you will catch a lot of bigger fish this time of year. And so a lot of times use a natural colored minnow wrap or shad wrap, something like that. It's a longer profile bait, like a minnow, but it's got a real tight wobble. During the year when the water temperature warms up and you want something with a really big wobble, or they call it the hunting of the crankbait, you want something that really hunts when the water's warming up. So I would throw something like that at them. Or I've even caught smallmouth in about 40-degree water with a square bill with a really large wobble on it. You know, good hunting action, but that's also a smallmouth. But I'm pretty sure it's a reaction bite this time of year, so if you can get it in front of their face, you may not be able to get as many bites, but you'll be surprised at the size you can get. Just seeing snow for the first time in this winter. It's just melted along here in the bank, but like I said, I've been out in Texas, and what I've heard is in the western part of the state of North Dakota, they're getting really a bunch of snow compared to the 96, 97 winters. Some of the old people who were alive during that time said this is how that 96, 97 winter started up there. Where I'm from on the eastern side of the state, there's not as much snow. It's just been mostly like freezing rain and stuff like that. So that was my first snow of the winter of 2016. So I want to thank Mac and Adam for asking the questions and participating in this little question and answer deal. We might do some of these later on. Nobody seemed very interested, but that's all right. So I don't know, it's getting dark here. It's about 4:45 to 5, so 4:45. I've been driving since 4 o'clock this morning, so almost 12 and a half hours, 13 hours. So we're gonna probably stop somewhere in South Dakota here and spend the night and get back to the house, to my parents' house tomorrow sometime. But just wanted to let you guys know how Texas went, and this is what I've been doing all day on this Vlog Monday, is just driving. And I was happy to answer those questions for those two guys and talk about, you know, why I went to Texas and the goals I had when I got there, and, you know, talk a little bit about the Vlog Monday schedule. Might change up a little bit, and then maybe the Friday uploads. But like I said earlier, I'll let you guys know if that does change. But also, you know, if you want to keep up to date on what I'm doing in between videos again, like I said, go like my Instagram page at Preston Outdoors 2. and then my Facebook page at Preston Outdoors, and I'll keep it up to date on what I'm doing every day. At least Instagram, most of the time what I'm doing every day on that story, that feature that they have, and then I try and upload a picture every day if I'm doing something like that. So I think this is where I'm going to end the vlog Monday. Sorry again, this wasn't very interesting, but this is what I'm doing today. I'm heading home, back to the great state of North Dakota. Enjoy some really cool weather. I think when I got out, let's see, right now it's 40 degrees. I got out at the gas station. You know, I've been used to the 50, 60 degree weather in Texas, and 40 degrees for a high. You know, it'll be 20 some degrees when I get back home. It feels really good. I love cold weather. Can't wait to start a real winter season up here. So I want to thank you for watching Preston Outdoors.